Mr. Khaled, the most successful artist in the world, whom did basically nothing. This, if you actually really think about who DJ Khaled is, I mean, he is a DJ. He does make his own. He does make a lot of beats on his records. Most of this record is produced by him, but if you actually really think about it, he's basically like. It's so weird when you think like he was a DJ, and then with the success he made off of being a DJ, he's now been a now he has so many connects and everybody wants to work with him because he's so successful. It's DJ Khaled. He always brings in all these big artists. Now he can create these massive collaborations, do nothing, get credited, and then make money. It's a little smart of him. It's annoying of me because I'm like, this album, I don't really like calling DJ Khaled albums DJ Khaled albums because they're more just big hip hop collab albums that happen to have this guy yelling another one DJ Khaled on every track. And now there are a lot of beats he does produce. A lot of this is produced by him. But more what I'm saying is it's like a lot of it isn't produced by him. Most people I think I know find him very annoying. Most of the hip hop community don't really like DJ Khaled anymore. I think we used to all really like him mostly because he was just this cool producer who'd always bring in the best rappers, bring these crazy collabs that everybody wanted to see. And then he was really successful. I thought we all enjoyed him for that. But recently he's been dropping these just slogs of albums. I've only heard two albums from him prior to Khaled, and those were Major Key and Father of Assad. I didn't hear Grateful. I was actually going to listen to Grateful before listening to this. Then I saw the runtime was an hour and 27 minutes, and I decided not to. But the ones I did hear, like Major Key was good. I liked Major Key. It had a couple really fun bangers on it. It had some good tracks, some good features. I thought it was an enjoyable project, and I didn't have a ton to say on it, but I liked it. It was fun. Father of Assad was rough. I don't know what went wrong with that album. It just felt like every single collab was the most boring it could be. It didn't feel like there was anything fun or vibrant or cool about it. It just felt like a bunch of artists giving the most lame performances possible. And there's so many tracks that should work, but just find themselves being incredibly uninteresting and boring. Honestly, I did not enjoy that album one bit. There were like two or three tracks I really enjoyed. I liked that Thank You track by Big Sean. That was good. That was kind of all I liked from that one. So Khaled, I was really like, I was a little kind of like, okay, whatever on this. I was expecting to maybe enjoy it, but I wasn't really sure. We only had two singles from this Popstar and Grease, which I'll talk about later in this video, both of the Drake tracks. I was just kind of a little like, maybe it'll be good, maybe it won't. I saw the feature list, and I was genuinely excited for it with tracks that feature Nas and Jay-Z. You have rappers like Lil Baby on a lot of these tracks. The Baby's on this, Megan Thee Stallion, Her, Migos. Ton of really cool faces on this one. And Big Sean, as usual, Drake. So there's a couple faces on this I was excited to see. And, usually when I go into a Khaled album, I'm excited because I'm excited to hear what these artists are going to offer. But I'm also expecting to maybe not really enjoy it. So I was a little on the fence of how much I'd enjoy this or not. Thankful is a nice opening. I really think this was a great way to start the open out. Jeremiah sings very nicely. He sings very well. He goes with this very kind of soulful, nice beat. And then Wayne comes in and fucking murders it. His verse is incredible. He does so with his flow, his lyrics, his style, his themes. It sounds so great. Wayne is obviously a legend, and he freaking kills this. This is great. This is a fantastic way to open up the album. Every Chance I Get was quite a fun banger with Take Heath on production. You have Lil Baby and Lil Durk, who are supposed to be dropping a collab album this month, which would be exciting if that does drop. I mean, I'm not really a big fan of either, but I haven't heard a full Lil Durk project yet, but I like all his features, and of the tracks I've heard, I quite enjoy his music. I have heard one full Lil Baby project, My Turn, which I, as you guys probably know, did not enjoy. But as of recently, he's been doing fantastic on his features. In fact, in 2021 so far, he's delivered a lot of guest verses, and they've all been great. They've all been just slick, enjoyable, flow lyrics. He's been an incredibly great rapper this year, so I'm excited to see what he's actually going to drop. And if these two do come with a collab album, like Every Chance I Get, I'll enjoy it. It's a very nice track. It's a fun banger. It's not a highlight, but I quite enjoy what it has to offer. Big Paper shouldn't be on here with Cardi B. I don't like Cardi B by any stretch of the imagination. The only tracks I like from Cardi B, I like because of other things that aren't Cardi B. Like, I like WAP mostly because of Megan. I like I Like It mostly because of the beat. Those are like the two songs I like from her, and the part I dislike about the song is Cardi B. So Big Paper, I was doomed to not enjoy, and I seriously did not enjoy it. Cardi B's flow is so fucking whack. Like, the way she like flows this hook and reverses, it's obnoxious, repetitive, bad. This is just a terrible track. I don't know why it was included in the first place. I don't always love big Khaled tracks that are just one artist. And it's mostly because when I go into these Khaled albums, I really want to hear a bunch of artists come together. And then it's definitely on this album. But I'm kind of just like, why do you put like a really mediocre rapper like Cardi B on her own song? I know she's popular right now, but just throw her on one of the bangers, throw her on one of these tracks with all the other rappers, and I would quite enjoy her more. We Going Crazy as a fun Migos track. I never thought I'd hear her and Migos on the same track, but I did, and they were quite fun. Migos, I do like them. I think they're all, except for Quavo, talented. Okay, I'll just say this. I just hate Quavo. I don't actually really hate him. I just always say I hate him. I don't know why. It's just fun. I mostly do it because whenever we're talking about who the best Migos is, nobody can agree if it's Takeoff or Offset. And I'm like, nobody mentions Quavo. And I'm like, but there's a reason why nobody mentions Quavo. Because he's easily the worst. Like, whenever I hear a Migos track, the part I least remember is Quavo. But I always enjoy Offset and Takeoff. He's just boring. But Offset and Takeoff always do great on this. And I don't think Migos is bad on this track. Her is very nice with the hook, though. She gives a very nice flow. I really love the beat. I think it fit very nicely with this. Most of this album is kind of fun for me because I do have a soft spot for, that summer vibe, you know? That was something I feel like Father of a Sod just didn't really grasp for me. But I always have really enjoyed this kind of fun, upbeat, party summer vibe. It's just a fun vibe to me because I just enjoy summer. And it's just a happy time for me. And when I hear tracks like We Going Crazy, I Did, and all these tracks on this album, I have fun with them because they just remind me of that very glamorous summer vibe. It's very fun to me. I quite enjoy summer bangers. What can I say? It's just a soft spot for me. I Did It is obviously a highlight from this one. I really thought this was a great collab. It's so cool to hear all these guys come together. Post Malone, Megan Thee Stallion, DaBaby, Lil Baby, 4 of the biggest, not only rappers, artists in the world. And they're all enjoyable artists, in my opinion. You know, I don't love only Lil Baby. I hate the only Lil Baby album I've heard. The only Lil Baby album I've heard I've hated. But I actually think recently he's been very talented. I don't love DaBaby's music, but I always enjoy him. I don't love most of his albums, but I think on a more single feature front, DaBaby's a very enjoyable rapper. He's also the rap legend. He's just the music legend, man. Megan Thee Stallion, another rapper who I've quite criticized a lot because I didn't like her Good News. I thought that was a pretty boring album, but I actually quite enjoy Megan Thee Stallion as an artist. Independently of that album, I think she's very talented. She always gives very fun, enjoyable, very style. She's just a very nice style. And Post Malone is the only guy of this bunch. Okay, he's the only guy of this bunch that I really fully enjoyed an album from because I seriously enjoy Beer Bongs and Bentleys and Hollywood's Bleeding. I don't care. I know Post Malone isn't really that loved with the rap community, but I really enjoy his music. I think he delivers a lot of really great tracks, and I think he's great on this track. Just hearing Post Malone, Megan, DaBaby, Lil Baby, not a collab track that I thought would work, but they all fit very nicely with each other with just a very upbeat, fun beat. I don't know. I think DJ Khaled produced this track, and he did great with it, actually. It's a really nice beat. I really like this track. I think I'm going to listen to it a lot this summer. It's a fun track. Let It Go is really weird. It's a weird collab. Justin Bieber. Okay, I expected to see him on this album. 21 Savage wasn't surprised he's on this album. But on the same track, it's a little weird, and it's also just not that, incredible of a track. It doesn't have anything really that striking about it, which sucks, because these are both artists that I thought weren't really good at a time, and recently they've just made a great comeback, and they've just putting out fantastic music. Yes, I did quite enjoy Justice. I know that's not the most popular opinion online, but I thought that was a really solid Justin Bieber album. But, I don't know, I think on a collab track together, they're both fun, they both do their thing, but I don't think either of them are enjoyable enough to make this a track that I'll ever go back to. It's not bad, it's fun, it's just 21 Savage and Justin Bieber. feels like a weird collab, and it ends up being a weird collab. Body in Motion is a fun track, undeniable. Bryson Tiller is just a great artist, so I love hearing on that hook. Roddy Ricch and DaBaby kill their verses. They are talented trappers, so I'm very excited to see them on this track. Popstar, this single came out last summer. I reviewed it last summer. I didn't like it last summer, but upon more thought and upon listening to it 4 more times, it's grown on me quite a bit. This track actually reminds me quite a lot of a more if you're reading this vibe of Drake. Not really 100%, because I think he'd need a lot more confidence and energy to really get there. But this track's fun to me. It feels a little bit more like it feels a little more self-aware than other Drake tracks do. It's just better than most of the things like Dark Lane demo tapes or Care Package or Views, More Life, Scorpion, all just really mid to bad projects to me. This is a track that's quite a highlight for him. He had a couple great singles in 2020, with this and Laugh Now, Cry Later. This is just a fun track to me. I really love the verses. The beat is great. I love that beat. I think that's one of my favorite elements too. And I quite enjoy the hook. I also, him opening the track with just saying bitches is just, I just love it. I don't know why, I just love it. This Is My Year with Boogie in a Hoodie, Big Sean, Rick Ross, and Diddy. I'm not surprised to hear Big Sean, Rick Ross, and Diddy. Actually, I'm a little weird to hear Rick Diddy on that track. But Boogie, though, it's weird to hear a Boogie in a hoodie in a track like this. It's weird to hear him and not other trappers on this. Like, Future doesn't appear on this. It's just weird to see a Boogie or Young Thug isn't on this. Travis Scott isn't on this. That just hit me. I expected him to be on this. He's not the most relevant rapper, though. I know a lot of Khaled albums. They're kind of a celebration of the music that's popular at the time. But I quite enjoy this track. I think Boogie does very well. I'm not a really big fan of the Boogie in the Hoodie, but I think he did really well. Big Sean kills it because he's a fantastic rapper. Rick Ross is fun. He's Rick Ross. And Diddy does a little fun. He does it. He Diddy's it, He does fun at the end. He just kind of rants at the end. And that's what Diddy does fun. That's what Diddy does. Diddy does Diddy better than anyone could ever do Diddy. Sorry Not Sorry. This was the track I was most excited for on this record. This was the reason I was so excited for it. This is the reason I think most hip-hop fans are excited for it, because it features Nas, Legend, and Jay-Z. Legend. And if you know what that is, Nas and Jay-Z on a track together is like heaven. And this is, for people who aren't rap fans, I'll explain why real quick. Just really quickly. Back in the early 2000s, Nas and Jay-Z had probably one of the most venomous feuds in hip-hop. And it was one of the most equal feuds in hip-hop, because these are two rappers that I think are undeniably equally talented. They have equal amounts of classics. They're both very revered, influential hip-hop artists. They came up in the same, they're literally the same, except for they're perfect enemies for each other, because they both came up from New York, but one was Brooklyn, one was Queens. They both have this similar rise up, and as a whole, it's really weird how similar they are as artists, but how different they also feel. They're similar because I feel like they're always competing, and it's fun to me to watch it. They've done a few they had their feud with Ether and Takeover in the early 2000s, 2001 and 2 mainly. But a couple years later in 2006, they ended the feud with ended the feud with performing, I think, Dead Presidents 2 live. And then they came together on Black Republican on Hip Hop Is Dead by Nas. Phenomenal track. Nobody talks about how amazing that track is. That is a fucking great track. They also came on Success, which was on Jay-Z's American Gangster. Very good track, too. Nas had a hidden feature on Magna Carta Holy Grail, which was shocking to me when I first heard it. This is the first time they've collabed since then. And I was surprised to see it, actually, because I know they had a little bit of a thing back last year when they both dropped on the same night, and then Nas kind of called Jay-Z out for it. But now they're coming together, which means, the feud. I think there's always going to be a little bit of a tension between them, but they're having fun. They both do very well in this, and it doesn't feel like they're competing. It feels like they're kind of celebrating with each other. It has a fun beat, a great hook by James Fauntleroy. That's Fauntleroy. They both just do great. It's just so excited to see These are both two of my top 5 rappers ever. I love both these guys to my grave. In fact, it is a really hard question for me to answer who is better, Nas or Jay-Z. I usually say Nas, but there are moments where I could say Jay-Z. As a whole, it's just an amazing track, and I think they just both murdered it. Just Be with Justin Timberlake. I'm not inherently a JT fan, but I thought this was a fun pop track. It doesn't have a ton of really. It's like that Shotgun track, but it's fun. It's nice. It has a nice beat. It's fun. What can I say? I Can Have It All. It's a fun kind of R&B track with Meek. Bryson and her come back on this track. They both do very well because they're both very talented R&B artists. And then Meek Mill, being the underrated man he is, kills his verse. Y'all better start respecting Meek more. Meek is so talented. It's like not only recently that I hear a Meek verse and I'm like, God, this guy always kills it. Like there's so many tracks recently where he's been the reason it's great. Like the track from Slang Language 2, That Go. Like the reason I love that track so much is because of his hook and verse. He just murdered it. Meek has been doing great recently. I can't wait to hear this next album. I think he's a solid rapper. I don't know why a lot of people hate him. I know he took a lot of L's back in the mid 2000s, 2010s with the back-to-back and getting locked up. But I think he's a fantastically enjoyable artist now. Then we have Grease, the other track I reviewed last year. But unlike Popstar, this shit did not grow on me. And it's not, the reason why has nothing to do with Khaled. In fact, Khaled's beat is very nice. I really like the very glamorous, kind of nice vibe kind of to it. It's a nice beat. It's just Drake. Bro, what the fuck is he doing here? He's doing this Weeknd impression. It's a terrible Weeknd impression. Back when it came out, I thought it was a Lil Uzi impression. Just saying, I didn't know a ton about hip-hop when this track came out. I've probably heard 300 albums since that track came out. And I've done so much more to learn about artists and just generally music and rap as a whole. So now I understand, yeah, this is definitely a more of a Weeknd impression and it sucks ass. It's so weird to hear Drake impersonating an artist like The Weeknd. Because it's not like he's not successful. He went, what did he? Last year he dropped Tuesday Slide, which went number 1. I did Laugh Now Cry Later go number 1. It was a huge hit. It was a really big hit. So those are 2 big hits. Then this year he got the top 3 on the Billboard. Dropped 3 singles and they all went 1, 2, and 3. And then he's copying other people. Bro, you have your own style. It's not only Drake is not an artist without a style. He's not an artist who doesn't have his own sound. He has his own sound. And he's copying Weeknd? What? Why? It's just a terrible track. I honestly can't stand it. Where You Come From in Khaled tradition ends with a kind of Jamaican reggae song. Yeah, I don't know any of these guys because I don't listen to reggae. But it's a fun track. I enjoy the reggae accent quite a lot. The Jamaican reggae accent. I think it's a fun accent. I think it's a fun track. It's not a track I'm going to replay a bunch, but I think it's fun. As a whole, Khaled, a lot better than Father of Assad. I quite enjoyed this record. It's not incredible. I do think you could remove some tracks from this. There were a few I just felt didn't really do much for me. As a whole, though, it's a fun album. It has a lot of great tracks, great features, great production, fun summer vibes. It is not looking like summer outside. It's actually super cloudy outside today. But hey, it's May. The summer's coming soon, so good time to drop an album like this. This is a fun album. I quite enjoyed everything DJ Khaled delivered on Khaled. I'm not gonna give it too high of a rating. I think Khaled deserves a solid B plus. That's not an amazing rating, but I do enjoy it, and I think it's a fun album. And I'll definitely replay. I'll definitely be replaying I Did It and Sorry Not Sorry. I might be replaying Every Chance I Get and Let It Go, but actually not Let It Go. Maybe Body in Motion. Yeah, this is a fun album. Popstar I'll definitely be replaying because that track finally hit me. What do you guys think on this album? What else should I review? I don't know. This month's going to be... Actually, I'm going to do more reactions this month. Next Friday... Or this Friday, actually, I will confirm I will be doing a reaction because Top Dog's dropping something, and anything Top Dog, unless it's Reason or there's a couple. I don't know if maybe I'd react to a SZA track. I didn't react to her past few singles, But I could react to SZA. I could do that. I quite love her as an artist, so I'd be okay with that. If it's Kendrick, I will definitely. If it's Isaiah, I will definitely. If it's Schoolboy, I don't. Nobody's saying it's gonna be Schoolboy. I highly doubt it will be because Crash Talk only came out in 2019. So I doubt it will be Schoolboy. If it's J Rock, I don't know. I probably would react to a J Rock track, but I highly doubt it's J Rock. I'm honestly just totally saying it's probably, most people are kind of in agreement right now. It's either Isaiah or Kendrick, because we've been waiting 5 years for a new Isaiah album. And I'm really excited because The Sun's Tirade and Sylvia Demo are two of my favorite albums, without question. Two of the best under Top Dog. If it's Kendrick, obviously I'm excited. I mean, you see the finals back there, right? Those are both of my top 5 albums ever. Like, this man is like top 3 rappers ever. If it's Kendrick, I can't wait. And if it's Isaiah, I can't wait. Mostly those two. If it's Schoolboy, I'd be pretty excited. If it's J-Rock, I'd be pretty excited. It might be Absol. It could be Absol. Nobody's been saying it's Absol. It could be. I'd be happy to see Absol. As a whole, though, it's Top Dog, so I'll probably react to it no matter what. And considering the way they're hyping it, I'm seeing myself reacting to it. Then we have... oh, yeah. We have the fall off in May. I think it's going to be May 14th. If it's May 7th, if it's this Friday, oh my God, the hype. But if it's not, then it's probably May 14th or 21st. Because he said in 2 weeks. And at the time of in 2 weeks, May 14th would have been the most likely release date. I hope it is. I don't want to have to react to that and this upcoming... I don't want to have to react to 2 on one day. But we'll see. I'm very excited for May, though. There's theories that Drake will drop. Only I think those theories are only coming out because J. Cole and Kendrick could both be dropping in May. And everybody's just like, what if Drake dropped in May? He could. You know, it is time. It's been a while. It's time. He did drop the Scary Hours, too, a couple months ago. But, you know, we could be seeing it in June at some point. We could be seeing it in Scorpion season. Hopefully that A Night with Silk Sonic is dropping. That might be like my most anticipated record of the year. Kendrick is probably my number 1. That's probably my number 2. Detox has been teased. We know it's possible Kendrick, M, and Dre are on a track together. Kendrick, M, and Dre. Holy shit, that's so exciting. Anyway, that's my little update for upcoming music. See you guys next time. Peace out. Bye.